In 502, we have the end of the simile and then the corresponding narration with Dido starting in 503, and then we'll go to 506 here. So remember, we're talking about Diana, and so the joys of Latona, Latona's joy, thrills or touches, thrills her silent heart, silent chest. Such was Dido. Happily, she was carrying herself in such a way, through the middle of her men, pressing on the work, and her future kingdom, or future kingdoms. Then, at the doors of the goddess, or at the doors of the goddess's temple, in the middle of the roof of the temple, surrounded by armed men, or by arms, she sat up high, having leaned on or supported by her throne. So going back up here, we're talking about Latona, who is Diana's mother, and she is overjoyed she is proud of her daughter. Her Gaudia thrills her heart, and she is tacitum, or her heart, her pectus is tacitum, because presumably she doesn't need the same thing. She's content and proud of her daughter. Well, such was Dido, and that tallest responds to the qualis that began the simile. So now Virgil's telling us the simile's over, and here we're back to Dido. And that tal m, this anaphora of the tallest and tal m here, really emphasizes the point. The focus is exclusively on Dido and the way that she's carrying herself, no pun intended, because we are literally saying carrying herself, and how she's acting as a leader. Laita, I translated this as an adverb. This is really common. It's an adjective, but it's describing the subject of the verb, and it is right next to the verb. And so by attraction, we can say it has attracted the verbal quality. So that's a good translation of that adjective there. Happily, she was carrying herself in such a way. So, through the middle of her men, and we can assume men because it's accusative plural, as we've seen before in the Aeneid. She's instans operi, so she's pressing on the work. This is the same verb that we saw earlier with the Tyrians. The eager Tyrians are pressing on, instant. So here she's responding in kind. A lot of commentaries you'll read will point out the hendiades here. So this is two separate ideas, the work and her kingdom. But what Virgil probably intends here is the work of the kingdom. So the one greater idea than just the two separate that are here. That's hendiades. So then at the doors, at the forays of the goddess, we mean the temple, in the middle of the roof of the temple. So right in the middle there, under it. Probably we imagine the opening there as the doorway or the window to the gods. She is saepta armis. She's covered, surrounded by armed men because Dido is not dumb, and she knows her position is tenuous. And she sat there like a queen, being supported by her solium, her throne, and up high like a goddess.